cell structure. First of all, what is cell? Cell is tiny mass of protoplasm. Protoplasm is living matter which is there in the boundary of cell. Cell is tiny mass of protoplasm which is bounded by a membrane. Cell is basic building block of living organisms. It is basic building block of all living organisms. Building block means it makes body of all living organisms. And if we have to define cell, then it is tiny mass of protoplasm which is bounded by a membrane. Just have a look at the diagram. This is cell. Whatever is there in the cell, that is protoplasm. Today we are going to study in detail structure of cell. Structure of cell. See, whatever is the shape, size or activities of cell, cell has basically three functional regions. These regions are, first of all, cell membrane, which is also called plasma membrane. Outer boundary is called cell membrane or plasma membrane. Okay. Then second, that is, this is cell membrane. Then second part is, it has nucleus, which is mostly in the center of cell. In plant cells, this nucleus is pushed to the periphery because in plant cells there is large vacuole. Due to that large vacuole, this nucleus is pushed towards the membrane. Otherwise, this nucleus is central in position. And third part is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is whatever is present around nucleus, that jelly-like substance, that jelly-like liquid, that is called cytoplasm. And this cytoplasm has all the organelles. Now what are organelles? As we have different body parts, like which are called organs. We have nose, eyes, ear, lungs, heart. All these parts are called organs. Similarly, whatever is there, little structures in the cell which are specified to perform their own function, they are called cell organelles. We will study about all cell organelles in detail in the next video. But today we are going to study in detail these three structures, these three main regions of the cell. First one is cell membrane, also called plasma membrane. Then we have nucleus, and then we have cytoplasm. We are going to study about these in detail. Now we are going to start cell membrane first. And here I would like to add, cell membrane is present in both plants and animal cells. But in plant cells, in addition to cell membrane, there is another non-living membrane that is called cell wall. Cell wall is present only in plant cells. In animal cell wall is absent. Now we are going to study cell membrane in detail. The outermost layer of the cell, plasma membrane, it is living, thin, elastic, delicate and selectively permeable layer. As I told you, it is the outermost layer. Basically, it is protective in function. This layer, if we observe this under light microscope, it just looks like a line. But in electron microscope, this is thickness of this, so we can study detailed structure of this cell membrane. Here I would like to tell you what is light. Actually, microscopes are of two types. Light microscope, you should know this because this term is new for you. Microscope and electron microscope. Microscopes are of two types. Normally the microscopes which are used in schools and colleges, these are light microscopes because they use glass lenses. But in electron microscopes, electromagnets are used. Light microscope, they use beam of light to produce image, to illuminate the object. But in electron microscope, beam of electrons is required. So basically, when we observe, mostly light microscope is available. When we observe any cell under light microscope, this plasma membrane, this just look like a line. Only nucleus is visible, that line is visible, outer boundary is visible. So this plasma membrane is living, thin, delicate, elastic and it is selectively permeable. Now, often question is asked, what is the meaning of selectively permeable? Here I would like to tell you that this plasma membrane, this is made up of bilayers of phospholipids. This has two layers of phospholipids, okay? And it has proteins. It is normally explained as, it is normally described as, plasma membrane is, it has icebergs of proteins floating in the sea of lipids. It is, plasma membrane is made up of two layers of phospholipids with some carrier proteins, which make it selectively permeable. Now, what is the meaning of this basically? So, plasma membrane allows entry and exit of some of the substances in the cell. These carrier proteins take substances from outside to the cell, or from inside substances come out by crossing this plasma membrane. I hope this is clear to you. This much detail, the detailed structure you will study in hard classes, but you should know this thing only, that it is made up of two layers of phospholipids with some carrier proteins which make it selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means it does not allow every substance to enter and to leave the cell. Only some selected substances, they are allowed to enter and leave cell. Okay, and one more thing, this is 7 nanometer thick. Thickness of plasma membrane is 7 nanometer. It is living layer. It is selectively permeable. I hope this is clear to you. Now we are going to study difference in cell membrane, that is plasma membrane, and cell wall. Actually, cell wall is present in plant cells only. This is non-living layer. Now we are going to study in detail, and we are going to study differences in cell membrane and in cell wall. Okay. As I told you, cell wall is present only in plant cells. Now we are going to do difference in plasma membrane, that is cell membrane and cell wall. Okay. Cell membrane is present both in plant and animal cells, and cell wall, in addition to cell membrane, in plant cells there is another non-living layer which is called cell wall. Okay, and this cell membrane, this is living, thin and flexible layer, and this layer is non-living, thick, and it is rigid. It is formed of, cell membrane is formed of lipids and proteins, and cell wall is made up of cellulose. And cell membrane is permeable, semi-permeable, cell wall is permeable, and the main function of cell membrane is it controls cell content and it allows passage of substances by the process of osmosis and diffusion. And cell wall, its main function is to provide protection and strength to cell. I hope function of cell membrane and cell wall is clear to you. How do they both differ? Okay, now we are going to start the next topic, that is cytoplasms. As I told you, cytoplasm is the liquid, is the jelly-like substance which is present around nucleus. Entire living matter in the cell which is enclosed by cell membrane, that is called protoplasm. Actually, protoplasm is cytoplasm plus this nucleus. Together they are called protoplasm. As I told you in the definition, cell is tiny mass of protoplasm. Whatever is there inside membrane, that living matter is protoplasm. Excluding nucleus from protoplasm, that is called cytoplasm. Okay. Now, what is cytoplasm? It is jelly-like substance. It is living. It has different cell organelles which are freely floating in it. Basically, cytoplasm's main function is to provide space for metabolic reactions to take place. Because all organelles are there which are specialized in their function. Now we are going to study detailed structure of nucleus, which is main part of cell. Nucleus is also called brain of cell. Okay. Nucleus is large, centrally located, spherical structure. It is called brain of the cell. Cell has large, centrally located structure called nucleus. It is also known as brain of cell. As brain is important to our body, it controls activities, functions of different body parts. Similarly, nucleus is important to cell. We are going to study detailed structure of nucleus. Nucleus is double membrane bound structure. It is nearly spherical and it is made up of double layer, that is nuclear membrane. This is called, which forms nuclear envelope. This is double membrane bound structure. It is nearly spherical. Okay. This is nuclear membrane. As cell has outer covering called cell membrane, nucleus has outer covering called nuclear membrane. Okay, so this is nucleus, which is bound by two membranes, two layers, which is called nuclear membrane. A cell has outer layer, cell membrane, nucleus has outer layer, nuclear membrane. And this nuclear membrane is double layered, which forms nuclear envelope. So we call it nuclear envelope. Okay. Now, as inside the cell there is jelly-like substance called cytoplasm. Similarly, in the nucleus there is jelly-like substance called nucleoplasm. Whatever jelly-like substance is there inside nuclear envelope, that is called nucleoplasm. Same like cytoplasm. And you see, here I have shown gaps. In the nuclear envelope there are gaps. These gaps are called nuclear pores. Nuclear pores, okay? These are nuclear pores. What else you find in this nucleoplasm? There you find a thread-like structure. It is entangled thread-like structure, which is called chromatin fiber. Chromatin fiber, which is basically chromosomes. Okay, this chromatin fiber have genes, that is unit of inheritance, that pass characters from one generation to next. The main functional unit of this chromatin fiber is genes. Now one more structure you find over here, that is bubble-like structure, round bubble-like structure, that is called nucleolus. Nucleolus. Now, what is the function of this nucleolus? This nucleolus is factory of ribosomes. Ribosomes help in the production of and the synthesis of proteins. In the nucleus, this round structure nucleolus is there, which synthesize proteins in the body. Okay, so basically to attach to this nuclear envelope there is endoplasmic reticulum. So through these pores, exchange of material takes place. Whatever has to enter the nucleus or whatever has to go out in the cytoplasm, that takes place through these pores. So double membrane bound structure is nuclear envelope, that is nuclear membrane basically. Fluid jelly-like substances, nucleoplasm, as it is here is cytoplasm in the cell, around nucleus it is present, and here it is nucleoplasm. Thread-like entangled thread-like structure is chromatin fiber. We can see chromosomes at the time of cell division. It plays important role in inheritance. This nucleolus, it is a factory of proteins. I hope detailed structure of nucleus is clear to you. If nucleus is removed from the cell, cell will become dead. Cell cannot live, as we cannot live without brain. As brain is important to our body, similarly nucleus is important to the cell. By removing nucleus, we will make cell dead. Cell cannot stay alive due to in the absence of brain, that is nucleus. Now, question arises here, what is the function of nucleus? The first function of nucleus is, it plays an important role in cell development. In the development of cell, nucleus plays very crucial role. Next function is, it plays important role in cell division. Okay. Next is, it controls all activities of the cell. As we call it, it is the brain of the cell. It controls all activities which takes place in the cell. Next, it plays important role in inheritance. It transfers characters from one generation to next generation, as it have chromosomes, and which are functional unit genes. Next, nucleolus part, which is bubble-like structure which is present in the nucleus, it helps in the formation of ribosomes. And next we will study that those ribosomes get attached on the endoplasmic reticulum and helps in protein synthesis. So nucleolus is the part which help in the formation of ribosomes, and these ribosomes get attached on endoplasmic reticulum and give it rough appearance, and we call it rough endoplasmic reticulum, which ultimately synthesize proteins. I hope functions of nucleus is clear to you. So I think you're not having any doubt with the structure and functions of plasma membrane, difference in plasma membrane and cell wall, detailed functions of nucleus and its structure, and what is the meaning of cytoplasm. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you soon in the next video.